When the cognitive dissonance gets overwhelming, all I have to do is look in my office and all these goddamn fucking PBR bottle caps I've collected, and they tell me, yes, it really happened. Barry is gone. I knew him from Lower Decatur, but he worked in the French Quarter's colon, Bourbon Street. As far as I can tell, all his jobs were fittingly service or protection. Security, door guy, bouncer, cook. Most of all, he was the protector of the Abbey, the infamous 24-hour dive bar. When it's having a night that's more stabby than scabby, Barry was the first to break up a fight, even though he didn't work there and was usually decompressing from 8 hours of the same shit. He loved his rituals. Always the same stool, always the same spot on the bar, if he could get it. Tully and PBR was the beer and shot combo. The shot was shooted, cheers, and the caps went around the beer. He inverted the cap game. If he won, he'd buy the bartender a shot. As the night went on, the poker card tarot would build. After 8, he'd go home. He assigned great importance to the PBR tea leaves. But what its tarot was, and what they said to him, and how he divined their meaning, he would never say. He always knew how long he'd been there on his precious stool by the number of caps around the napkin, which gave you some idea of which Barry you'd be encountering that night. He talked a lot of dark shit. Dissociative personalities, abusive childhood, dread, doom, and then he'd say, "Excuse me, love," and get up and break up a fist fight in front of the bar that had nothing to do with him. Barry came from meth-fueled upper Midwest. At his worst, or lamest rather, he'd just doom scroll memes from his stool and slow burn off all attempts at a conversation. It's just him and me on adjacent bar stools, so I'd call for Betsy requests and give him something else to fixate on. The music always helped. The Abbey has a real jukebox. It actually has CDs that reflect the people who work there and the people who drink there and the people who made the place what it is. It's not top 40 music and it's not user-friendly and it's sure as fuck not always legible, but it is 100% a reflection of the people who define the place, past and present. Outsiders can see where they are from the music, and regulars know what the tunes mean to each other. And there's all kinds of things you'll never find on an internet jukebox, like local bands, like underground bands, like golden parts of forgotten musical history, better than anything you'll ever find on TikTok or Spotify. The music is the people is the music. And I'm the guy who burns the discs for the place. It was so obvious Barry needed a CD of his own stuff on there, and he just shrugged it off for years. Nope, he just watched as all the junior bartenders got their mixes in, and he just waved it off, and he just figured, well, Barry doesn't want his music in there, and that's okay. And then one day in July, bam, he dropped the disc. He handed it out, and he requested stained and burned, he wanted it soiled, and then at the very 11th hour, right before printing, he added this graphic. Chaos Magic Linking Sigil, whatever that means. Barry's Mixed Feelings went in at number 10. For 2 months, I got to enjoy him, enjoying everyone, enjoying his music. He'd sing along with a surprisingly good voice, and wax on about the band, the lyrics, his history with them. It was great. He seemed happy and gratified. I didn't realize it was a suicide note. Death, the world's stupidest mystery. Everyone gets the solution eventually, 1,000 times a day. The only mystery is that it's a surprise. It's probably the only thing in the world that everyone gets the answer to and nobody knows what it is still. Like everyone who's ever lived gets the solution to what happens after death, and yet we still wonder. Maybe we should just stop wondering, focus a little more on the living. Barry's last day on Earth was his day off. Came to the bar, drank, did his shots, built his tarot, and then kept going. And didn't bother with the tarot. Stayed until 6:30 in the morning. Then he went home and made his final, permanent, futile gesture. I wasn't at the bar that weekend and I missed it. I wonder if I would have seen the absence of the tarot and the absence of the future and recognized it for the danger sign that it was. But I wasn't there. Then on September 9, he didn't show up for work. He talked about it, he swore he'd never do it, and then he did it anyway. Being one of the dead regs shouldn't be a life goal. Barry, you magnificent, ridiculous, frustrating bastard. He didn't leave a note, but he did leave his music, which turned out to be the last act of kindness I could do for him. Right around the same time, Betsy's flippers stopped flipping, and his final joke was hexing all the PBR bottle caps. Apparently the distributor's supply dried up or something, and nobody in the French Quarter or Marigny or Bywater, and none of the surrounding neighborhoods, had PBR bottles for like a month, and we were trying to collect them. So finally, we found 3 places, and we took up a collection, and we had a lot of friends, and We're basically going to build the sigil out of caps. I looked it up. It signifies it. It's an exit, an entrance, a spot where worlds collide, where disparate energies come together. That's Barry in his way, and it's also the Abbey. We're putting these caps in a big field of crossed napkins on black. If there's no room for it in the bar, it's going in the front of my house, or across the street from the bar, or in his ex's living room, or maybe in the river after his second line. The other thing about this sigil is that all the letters of his name are in it. And the music still fucking rules. And every time there's a tune from 10 playing in the Abbey, there's Barry in the air.